All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about what one of the greatest heavyweights of this century's trainer had to say about some fighters, and it sounded an awful lot like he was talking about Terence but Crawford, and I thought it was kind of funny, but also very, very true. I wouldn't have phrased it the way that he phrased it, which was female energy, but hey, man, what the man spoke was some truth, and not just about Terence Crawford, but about a lot of fighters. And his words, not mine, female energy. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, some of y'all are going to be mad at me. It is what it is, man. It's still interesting talk, man, because Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world, if not the best fighter in the world. Errol Spence Jr. is a great fighter. May not, some people will say he's washed up, this, that, and the other. He'll never be there again, all of that stuff. But whatever, man. Great career, great fighter. Definitely a Hall of Fame fighter, man. Has accomplished a lot in his career. And Deontay Wilder, man. Deontay Wilder is one of my favorite fighters in the history of boxing, without a doubt. He is the only heavyweight to me, as far as my fanship of him and appreciating him, this comes anywhere close to the way that I felt about Muhammad Ali. Love Deontay Wilder as a person, as a fighter, the whole thing. And his trainer, Malik Scott, came out and gave an interview, and I'm sure there's a chance that he may have misspoken, or the words may have been put in connected close to a name that he may not have intended, but all I can go off is what he said. And the truth of it, in my opinion, about what he said about Terence Crawford and other fighters, and the way that they react to the media and the way that they react to fans, and calling it feminine energy. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, like Barbara D and Matty Yole and Jeff Miller and Mr. Pragmatic, Paul Carrick, and the rest of you guys, thank you guys so very, very much for continuing to support the channel. Shout out to Terry Schmoot. Shout out to Kamal Oz, John Boy, everybody else that comes by to our live streams in the morning. But let's get into this, man. Okay, so Malik Scott is interviewed and is asked questions about different fights. Malik Scott is the trainer for Deontay Wilder, and he was training Zurdo Ramirez in his win over Joe Smith. I think that was the weekend before last. So more than likely that video was kind of delayed in the release. However, he starts giving his opinion about winning a fight, and he clear about giving predictions for fights. And one thing that he said, and this was brought up right about Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's name is in the video, I think it's a Fight Hub video. Is in the title of the video, and he's answering a question about Terence Crawford. He says, like, don't get me wrong, we got really great fighters and all of that. Then he says, look, man, these fighters, they get so upset at fans and media people for just thinking that you are going to lose a fight, or not predicting that you're going to win a fight. Their energy baffles him. He baffles me. He says now, and trying not to be offensive. And honestly, I try never to use this phrase myself. I'm just going to be honest, because I catch this kind of energy off of all kind of people, whether they're male or female. I like to call it petty and vindictive, is what I think. Right. So he brings up Terence Crawford and talks about fighters that will do things like this. Fighters that will go to tell media organizers, I don't want that guy at my fight because he doesn't talk well about me in the media. Right. So, and then having attitudes over boxing fans having opinions about who they think is going to win or lose, whether media people asking questions, right, which is their job, and basically says, look, man, these guys should not be taking all this stuff so personally. Let these people do their jobs. Don't stand in the way of these guys getting into getting press passes and all of that just because they don't think that you can win the fight. That's their job. Your job is to fight in the ring, right? And your job is to win the fight. And if you win the fight, you win the fight. You get bragging rights. Now, if he did not direct that at specifically at Terence Crawford, which it sounded like he did, it hits the mark 100%, but not just on him, also on guys like Tyson Fury, who did that to Ellie Sethback. But Terence Crawford, man, Terence Crawford is not, I don't know if he's ever treated a media person that supported him very well at all. All of his comments, or most of his comments, are almost exclusively reserved for people that either picked against him or didn't, or either picked against him or supported the other guy. And the energy is just, it's petty. And I don't know, I can't vouch for whether or not he kept people out of press conferences or not, because I don't try to get press passes for fights. That's not my ball of wax. I'm just a boxing fan, but I definitely know that Terence Crawford will send a bunch of trolls at you and make a bunch of accusations at you, because that's what he did to me, just because I said things that I said about the Errol Spence-Terence Crawford fight and the lead into him, which were all factually correct. But at the end of the day, this is the saying, and I agree 100% with Malik Scott in this, but I don't rephrase it like that. I'll phrase it like this. Boxers need to, their business is in the ring and in the business, in the boardroom, if you're negotiating your own fights or all of those things. But boxing fans' jobs are in the stands. Right? Like boxing fans are in the stands, much like Steven Jackson and Ron Artest when they were playing for the Indiana Pacers shouldn't have ran up into the stands to start fighting people in the stands because they didn't like what the people in the stands had to say. Neither should boxers take what fight fans say so personally that they start attacking particular fight fans, or they start attacking certain media members and not letting media members into their events, right? So now I don't know whether or not that possibly could be. He could be possibly be referring to, I don't even think he could be referring to Errol Spence, because Errol Spence didn't do that to certain YouTube channels that he said flipped on him, right? But I do know that, Mike Coppinger was not allowed to go to the Errol Spence-Terence Crawford fight, but I don't know whether that was caused by the fight. I don't know if that was actually caused by the fighters themselves or not. But anyway, man, Malik Scott, hey, man, thank you very much. I appreciate that, because that's a 100% truth. Boxers, man, if they're talking about you, they're talking about you. It's helpful to you. Keeping your name out there, whether it's good, it's bad, or whatever. Brian Kenny and Floyd Mayweather Jr. had when Brian Kenny was ESPN, those guys worked very well together, and it wound up very much promoting his fight, even though Brian Kenny was a stone cold hater related to Floyd. Same thing for probably the most famous boxer media guy combination, Howard Cosell and Ali. Howard Cosell was a huge hater of Muhammad Ali, but they made it work. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.